Okay, so Nisma solos for euphonium. This is a level 5 solo, the Fantasia in E flat by George Philip Telemann out of the Alan Rath book, 12 Fantasias for unaccompanied trombone. This is number, 7, I think? Yeah, number 7 in E flat, but it's the second movement of number 7, the Allegro in 9/8. It's 53 measures long if you number the measures, which I would suggest you do because I'm going to be referring to it that way as we go through. For something like this, I would definitely spend a lot of time at first doing something called lip slurs. Lip slurs, of course, where you start low and go high, or vice versa, using just your air, not your fingers. So things like the key to lip slurs is two things. Number one, use lots of air, which is always true on the euphonium. That's always pretty much number one for getting a good sound on the euphonium, anything. But number two is make sure that you use your airstream, the speed of your airstream, to change the notes. Really concentrate on making it faster air for the higher notes and slower air for the low notes. Don't try to do it by doing anything weird to your face. I do, if you look carefully, I do have to move a little bit, but I try to minimize that as much as I can, because the less physical movement you can use, the faster you're going to be at this later. It's exactly like, the smaller the muscle group you're moving, the faster you can do it. You can only move so fast this way, but you can move faster with your elbow, or even with your wrist, or even with your fingers, of course, you can move even faster. The smaller the movement you can make, the faster it's going to be. So if you can minimize that movement, that's the best thing to do. This particular movement is in 9/8, so basically it's 3 dotted quarter notes in a measure at the very beginning, at least. You're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3 is going to be your tempo eventually. Of course, you want to do parts of this, especially really, really slow at first. Kind of like on the first movement, there's lots of large leaps where you have a high note and then a really low note, or vice versa. So you're going to want to take it really slow at first and get a good grip on the different pitches. The rhythm here is actually pretty easy. Really, all you've got is quarter notes, eighth notes, dotted quarter notes. Nothing too serious here as far as the rhythm goes. It's really the pitch that really changes things. So, like I said, you may want to be doing some lip slurs at first. Like on my sheet that I give out, number 9 is what I was doing before. Just as a warm up. You can also do it backwards like number 10, or add another note like number 11. You can keep going through the whole valve order, of course. You've got the da 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 da, etc. When you get to 16th notes, that's even tougher, of course, at 13. Again, you want to use your support here. Really have a nice tight abdomen to keep that air column nice and supported. That way you don't have to move the embouchure a lot. The less you can move the embouchure, the better, like I said. I'm going to play at least the beginning of this. I'm not sure I'm going to have the whole thing down yet. This is going to take me some practice. But just to give you an idea what happens at the first part of this, we'll start it like this, and this will be enough to get you started at least. Okay? Nope. No, that's not right. Okay, you can see it gets harder here fairly quickly. At the beginning, you don't have a whole lot of range issues, but like say, for instance, when you get to measure 18, low A flat, high B natural C, low F, high B natural C, low G, high C, B natural. So you're going to want to isolate parts like that and really practice it really, really well, really, really slowly, and making sure to get a good sound, but also, of course, the right note. I'd probably isolate this in groups of 3 notes. And then maybe put the two together. That's going to be tricky. And then adding the last one. The good news on that is I guess it makes 19 seem easy after 18. You do get some fairly high notes down around 22 or so. High F, of course, the first note in that measure is no vowels. The 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth note in that measure is the high G. That would be first and second valve, just like a lower G, except a higher octave. E natural, of course, middle valve. You've got lots of weird notes here. Probably my least favorite, you got a couple of too, is that low B natural. For instance, the first note in measure number 17 on the beginning of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth line down, number 17. That B natural, of course, all three valves. If you've got a four valve Euphonium, you can use 2 and 4, but most kids at your age don't have that fourth valve yet. And I'm not sure actually it's going to help in that case anyway. You've got all three valves for the B natural, and then the D is next anyway, so all you have to do is pick up that one finger. If you had 2 and 4, you'd have to move actually 2 fingers. So I would probably, even if you have the fourth valve in this case, do the first, second, and third valve. I think that's easier. The fourth valve, of course, just gives you more options and also is a little better intonation-wise. But in this case, it's going so fast that the intonation issue is not really a problem. So let me start, please, if I could, at 13, just to kind of get that down a little bit, the high C. Nope. Overshot that G a little bit. Let me start again at 13. See, now I did the 2 and 4. I didn't even think about it. But if I were to practice that really a lot, it would be definitely that. Like I said, you probably want to get a good start on this one, just maybe 1 up to about 13 or so. If you can nail that part down, as well as the second and as well as the first and third movement, that'll be a good place to start. As I speak for this year's NISMA Festival, we've got about a month and a half or close to 2 months left before the actual festival. So if you're methodical about it, if you do it a little bit every day, if you're persistent and patient, you will get there. But it's going to take being methodical. You're going to have to do a little bit every day, I would say. Even if it's just isolating 1 or 2 measures, literally 1 or 2 measures a day, and really nailing down that one little part, then you probably want to put it back in context at the end of your practice session. Try to play more of it than just the 1 or 2 measures, just because you'll go a little bit insane if you just play 2 measures for the whole period or the whole practice session. But like I said, there's also a thing to be said for that intense laser focus just on that one place to practice it and get it really good. I like to practice also in small increments. I do like 15 minutes at a time and then go away from it for a while. Come back, your embouchure's fresh, you're mentally fresh. I think that's even more important, really. So good luck with it. I'll post this today, and then I will do more of this eventually. I'll put a performance of this up that I can actually play, but I've got to work on it a little bit first. This is a tough solo. Good luck.